Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Minnesota students are back at school, and at Fernbrook Elementary in Maple Grove, it was a week filled with excitement, despite the absence of one of their beloved staff members.
All of our kids made it to class safely and on time and so on and so forth. So very smooth day for such a large school, and that's credit to all of my teachers and all of the staff, because we had people in multiple corners making sure kids got where they needed to go.
With more than 1,100 students between grades K through 5, Fernbrook Elementary is the largest elementary school in the Osseo School District. Teachers and staff members spent the day helping students get acquainted with the building. But one person who wasn't there to help out the kindergartners was Yvette Hoffman. She's an educational support professional at Fernbrook, and she's still recovering after being shot in her home this past June.
Now, not having that, we feel the gap, but we've had some amazing folks step in to fill that gap in Yvette's absence. And so, and part of it is making sure that things go well here, because we know Yvette is thinking about us. She messaged us last night, and we want her to feel healthy, knowing that we got this here until such time as she's ready to come back.
There is still no timeline for Hoffman's return to Fernbrook. Meanwhile, a new elementary school will open in Maple Grove next fall, which will help reduce enrollment at Fernbrook by about 400 students. Test scores revealed before the new school year show that there's plenty of work to do. Scores remain stagnant statewide, while they fell a few percentage points locally. Statewide, just under half of students met grade level benchmarks for reading, according to new Minnesota Comprehensive Assessments data. Locally, the 3 largest districts in our area saw slight drops in reading. Anoka-Hennepin remained just above 50% proficiency. Osseo is just under 50%. Wayzata, while having the highest proficiency mark, dropped 5 percentage points compared to 4 years ago. Minnesota educators say staffing shortages are contributing to issues, impacting more than 80% of districts this school year. A Plymouth homeowner is telling her story after a mature tree was cut down unexpectedly in her yard. I explain why she says a tree trimming job wasn't what she asked for. When Christy Spike came home from work in mid-August, she saw something unexpected.
I stopped the car in our driveway and I left it running, and I got out because I was in such disbelief. Like, what am I actually looking at here? Is the entire tree on the ground? And sure enough, it was.
Her mature honey locust tree, one of 4 in her lawn, was down.
The whole tree was in pieces in our yard. The stump at that time was at least 2 feet off the ground. They didn't cut that down or anything.
Spike says she filed a request back in May for Excel to trim the tree back, as some limbs were close to power lines. But she says she didn't want it all taken down.
It's devastating to lose a healthy, mature tree without any warning or consent.
Xcel Energy said in a statement that the decision to remove the tree was based on a few factors, adding that, quote, "Our crew needed to remove a significant portion of the tree to prune it back a safe distance from the power line. Upon finishing this work, our crew decided for aesthetic and safety reasons to remove the entire tree." The company also said they typically leave large limbs for the homeowner's use or disposal. Spike told us that a week later, she found an Asplin contractor to remove the tree parts. The contractor charged Excel for the job. But she hasn't heard from the company herself.
There was nothing wrong with the tree. It was not an emergency situation where it was, constantly touching the lines. It wasn't on fire. It was just so unnecessary.
Spike says this situation was disappointing, and the stump is still there.
It was a 36-year-old tree, a fully mature tree that provided shade for our yard and for our house. And that is not something that you can just run to the store and replace.
We have Xcel Energy's full statement posted at ccxmedia.org. A Golden Valley woman and her business partner are on a mission to improve dental health, not only in people, but in their pets. In this edition of Business Matters, Delane Cleveland gives us a closer look at a company that's received national recognition for its work.
People love their pets, but their pets' teeth...
No. Sorry to be blunt.
That's usually an afterthought, according to Lindsay Campbell.
It's something that has never been really attended to, and it's nobody's fault.
Campbell is a Golden Valley resident and co-founder of Primal Health. The company's mission is to add more years to a pet's life by focusing on mouth bacteria.
Because if the bacteria escape into the bloodstream, it causes clotting, it causes heart disease, it causes all sorts of things, right?
And in this Northeast Minneapolis office,
I spent years just building out the patent.
Campbell and her business partner, Emily Stein, have developed a patented line of consumable products that essentially steer a pet's mouth bacteria toward better behavior.
Cavities and gum disease together are the most common infectious disease worldwide. And so we're finding limited just to human mouths, it's pervasive.
Okay.
In an effort to improve the oral health of pets, they came out with Teef.
Drinking water.
You put 1 scoop of powder in your pet's water every day, and over the course of a few weeks, they say it improves their breath and their overall dental health.
And we're really wanting to take care of pets' mouths because they're unable to take care of themselves. And about a dog or a cat can lose about a third of their lifespan if they have gum disease.
Their work is receiving recognition. This summer, the Pet Innovation Award program selected Teef as its Pet Dental Care Company of the Year.
Yeah, it was just really flattering that we got picked for that, so it was exciting.
Exciting because they know that their technology is making a difference, one meal and one mouth at a time.
Dental health is overall health, and if we can extend lives and time with your pet, that's what we want to do, and we love hearing that.
That's Delane Cleveland reporting. The company also makes dental products for people in the form of a lozenge for healthier gums and fresh breath.
Last weekend, we inducted 4 new members into our CCX Sports Hall of Fame. Brad Davison, Brandon Robinson, Brian Cosgriff, and Sydney Hilley. Here's part of her story.
She was an elite volleyball player in high school, college, and is still playing today. We welcome 2017 Champlin Park High School graduate Sydney Hilley into the CCX Sports Hall of Fame. Hilley helped the Rebels get to 3 state tournaments in the mid-2010s, after the program hadn't been to St. Paul in 13 years, but she's quick to credit others for the program's rise to prominence.
I mean, volleyball is such a team sport, and without the people around you, you can't do much. It's not like basketball where you could go one-on-one ISO. Like, there's 3 people touching the ball every play, and I had Izzy Aspern, who's a great setter, making me look good. I had Katie Weimerskirch, like Janae Alderson. Like, I had so many people who made me look good.
She was always working hard. She's always the first one to practice, always working hard. And I actually remember having a conversation with her like, hey, you got to take some rest this weekend. Like, find something that's not volleyball.
A center at every other level, the Rebels made Sydney an outside hitter, and she thrived.
Ashburn back to Hilley. Trying to go to number 2 as much as they can.
She was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Minnesota in 2015 and 16, and the Star Tribune's Metro Player of the Year both seasons.
I think it really helped me. Like, I never serve received before. I never attacked before. I was doing all these skills that I never had to work on. And then when I went back to college after and set or club and set, like, I had that perspective of what's a good hittable ball for my hitters. And I think it made me excel in my position a little more to have that understanding.
Champlin Park averaged 29 wins per season from 2014 to 2016 and finished as state runner-up to Egan in Hilley's senior year. In both their last 2 seasons, the Rebels outlasted Wayzata in 5 sets to win the Section 5 3A title.
Champlin Park back to state for the 3rd straight year.
It was amazing. Just like crowd so into it, seeing how happy the team was, and just getting that experience my senior year was incredible.
Scott Jackson was one of Sydney's club coaches at Minnesota Select and then coached against her during the high school season at Wayzata.
Honestly, it was awful to coach against her. I think the match we lost to her in the section final in 2016 was probably the match of my career that stings the most still, 15-13 in the 5th, and Sid was at the middle of the play.
Highly recruited out of high school, a 3-time All-State player chose the University of Wisconsin after growing up thinking she would play for Minnesota.
I just remember going to the volleyball games and thinking I want to be there one day, and they were actually my first offer, and I almost took it, but then I started exploring my other options, and once I went to Wisconsin, I absolutely fell in love with it, and I couldn't have made a better decision for myself. I mean, to be a Badger, it completely changed my life in the best way possible.
An All-American every season at Wisconsin, Sydney was the 3-time Big Ten Setter of the Year. The Badgers' career record holder in set assists, Hilley, along with fellow Champlain Park alum Izzy Ashburn, helped Wisconsin win the national championship in 2021.
We had a lot of COVID seniors who were there for that extra year, and a solid group of us were there our entire careers together, and we really just wanted to end it on a high note. And I think once we got into the tournament, you could see how confident we were and our chemistry together and just how much we loved each other in the game, and I think that's what carried us through.
And you can watch the rest of that story, plus all of our Hall of Fame show on our website, ccxmedia.org. That's all for sports. More CCX News after this.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.